Welcome to Swimming with Sharks. Tonight we have 5 different topics. 4 furious sharks with such a difficult questions and one prey looking for be saved. Let's start.
I am Edward Vega. I'm going to talk about the first impression.
I believe that a useful for communication is verbal language. What do you think about this? Can you give me some tips or advice?
About verbal language, there's not much to say. You just have to know how to use your language correctly. Do not speak with uncomfortable idioms or bad words.
When you talk about the ways of communicating, what do you refer and why?
Well, I refer the ways of communicating because this is very important. For example, you must make sure that you are sending the correct message or keeping in mind that you will listen without bothering or confusion.
Tell me, Edward, what can you recommend for a person who is shy?
I would recommend to this person to be himself. He must have a lot of confidence in himself.
How can you keep giving a good first impression without losing your personality?
Good night, I'm Alejandra Rivas. I'm going to talk about the advertisement and why the advertisements are useful and funny.
What do you think about if these are in our minds for a long time? Is it positive or negative?
I think this is positive thing because if we remember positive things for a long time, this can improve our mood, and then maybe we go to buy the product of the ad, which you like it.
Tell me, Alejandra, what kind of ads will you recommend for a person that it's boring and wants some fun?
Cristobal. People have different likes, and so a person who is bored and wants to be funny, the person can search ads about your likes. For example, if you like football, you can look for football announcements. This is a great idea.
What do you think about some advertising could be too explicit to children?
Sophia, this is a serious problem. I think that the family is the basis of the education of the children. We can prevent the children from looking at with explicit content, but we can educate it with skills and a good education for the children.
What about the important ads like security driving, help? They should be funny ads or they should be more serious?
I got you, so. In my opinion, the ads should be fun. In general, the advertisement about health or road security are sad, depressing, scary, and tragic. But we need the ads to show us the advantages of taking care of our health and the consequence of driving correctly, because we need this. We need the ads help us to value our lives and take care of us and wish the best for ourselves.
I am Cristobal Vargas, and I'm going to talk about the importance of the first impressions in the daily life. I chose three aspects that you need to take in count when you go to meet a new person. That are the way in the which you behave, in the way you speak, and in the way you smile.
Cristobal, is it possible get a good first impression with two aspects of those?
I think that it's possible, but I don't recommend it because if you only take, for example, like speak and smile, in the way that you behave matters a lot when you are like in a road in a supermarket or talking with some people. Do you need to behave? Do you only need to speak and smile? Do you need to learn how to behave and have a good behavior?
Cristobal, I think that we should take care of the language verbal to create a good impression. Can you tell me what are the essential details with talking to someone for the first time? Is there any special way?
I think that you need to be careful with the words that you say when you meet someone that is new in your life. It's like you can be talk with this person like you know him for a long period of time. It's something that you need to keep in mind when you are talking to someone that you meet for the first time.
Why do you think that the smile is one of the most important factors in the first impression?
I think that, how do you say, it's important because when you meet someone that is new for you, you try to generate or make a good first impression, and what is the easiest for do it that smiling. Well, you are talking with that person.
Can you use these three tips in every country, or you should change it depend of where you are?
From my point of view, I can say that in some countries are good or bad that you smile when you are thinking, when you are talking, or you are shaking your hands or doing anything that don't matter in the conversation. I think that these three tips can change depending on the country.
Good night, I'm Sofia Casilimas and I'm going to talk how the electronic devices affect people in different aspects such as social interaction, primordiality on their daily duties, and sensibility of reality.
Sophia, I'm not clear about the impact in social interaction. Is it positive or negative, and why?
I think that can be both. Well, we can talk about that the necessity of be communicated in the social media or texting or something like that affect our life with the family and friends in the real life, because we are more aware that what happens in the internet that on the real life.
Sophia, you say that the depends on device affect our daily duties. But what kind of daily duties do you mean?
I'm talking in general, so basic duties like if you are a student, For example, the most of the time we think that we are multitasking, that we think that we can do some jobs or send mails or texting almost all the time, but this is not like that. So I think that the internet and the apps and the computer or the video games take your time and disconcentrate you of the daily things.
Sofia, may you can tell me what or why the dependence on electronic device affect the academic aspect, please?
As I say in the last question, I think that is more when you are doing work or homework and you distracting with your cell phone or computer.
Thank you.
How do you imagine the human life without these electronic devices that you say that creates dependence?
I think that the one way or another, the humanity creates some to dependence. But if we talk about electronic devices, we can say that maybe the people can be more independent. So I think that.
Hi, good night. I'm Sol Zapata, and my thesis is about what everyone loves the food. And I say that it's the love. The love is what makes the food taste good.
That there is a relation between seasoning and love, or is it enough to cook with love?
That's the main idea of my thesis. I say that the love is the best seasoning ever. The way that you prepare the food with love is
your own seasoning. That's my point.
Our costumes define us, and we can decide what it tastes good and what it doesn't. So, like an example, can we say that people in Mexico can find delicious Colombian food because it isn't spicy?
I agree with you. The food is something that you decide if you like or not, and also depends of our tradition and how we grow up. And for example, in Mexico, they eat so spicy, and the Colombian food is something very tasty, but it doesn't have it hasn't spicy at all. So they don't find it ugly or something like that. They just find the Colombian food so simple, without a strong taste.
What do you think of what people say about the fact that each hand of person has its own sazon or flavor when cooking?
I think that there is a lot of reasons why the people find this seasoning and this sazon, and it could be a learning thing. It could be there's also say that it's in the blood, that maybe the mom cooks, then the daughter will cook also very good, very tasty. And I agree that each person has its own sazon, its own seasoning, and that also depends of the culture, as I say, in may say. For example, not because someone is from India or from Mexico, yeah, I will be sure that the person has such a amazing seasoning.
Can you tell me what is the culture with the most traditional dish in the world?
I can have an answer for that because every country, every culture has its own traditional dishes, and they are so delicious. In my opinion, for what I lived and what I grow, I have to say that the Indian dishes are so delicious, and also the Turkish dishes. But each culture has its own amazing traditional dishes. Thank you so much for everything.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark. Mommy shark do 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 do, mommy shark do 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 do, mommy shark do 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 do, mommy shark.
Daddy shark do 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 do, daddy shark do 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 do, daddy shark do 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 do, daddy shark.
Grandma shark do 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 do, grandma shark do 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 do, grandma shark do 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 do, grandma shark.
Grandpa shark do 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 do, grandpa shark do 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 do, grandpa shark do 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 do, grandpa shark. Let's go hunt do 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 do, let's go hunt do 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 do, let's go hunt do 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 do, let's go hunt.
Run away do 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 do, run away do 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 do, run away do 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 do, run away. Safe at last do 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 do, safe at last do 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 do, safe at last do 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 do, safe at last. It's the end do 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 do.